Hi, my name is Brennan Monroe, and this is my Unit 3 Soccer Shooting Motion Analysis project. In this project, I was analyzing my younger sister, Sally Monroe. She's a freshman at STHS on the JV girls soccer team. My qualifications to train her were my mom was a D1 soccer player at Yale, and she helped me a lot with the project, and I also played soccer when I was younger. The purpose of this project was to improve my sister's shooting technique with her non-dominant foot. I'm also trying to teach my younger sister the correct shooting mechanics and technique. I'm going to do this by comparing her non-dominant foot and her dominant foot shooting in slow motion. I'm also going to be looking at her shot power and accuracy with her dominant foot throughout the progression and to see if it increases with the correct mechanics and form. The steps for this project. The first step is to take a video of Sally shooting with both feet and break down the difference in technique between her dominant and non-dominant foot. Then I'm going to discuss the differences with Sally, working on improving her technique with her non-dominant foot to see what she does different compared to her dominant foot. At the end of the project, I'm going to take more videos analyzing the difference in technique from the original videos. I'm going to look at what she improved from the start of the project and what still needs work with her technique from her non-dominant foot. I'm going to be breaking down her shot into three main parts. The approach. What I'm looking at here is how she runs up to the ball and where she places her plant foot. The next part of her shot I'm looking at is contact. What part of her foot she's striking the ball with. And the last part of her shot I'm looking at is her follow through. What direction her hips and shoulders face after her shot, and how her feet cross over after her shot. Here's a video of her shot with her right foot. Her right foot is her dominant foot, so she's a lot more comfortable shooting with this foot, and she's had a lot more practice, so this was the correct form. Now we're going to take a look at her non-dominant foot and look at the differences between each shot. As you can see with her left foot, there's a much bigger gap between her plant foot and the ball compared to her right foot, and this forces her to reach for the ball with her left foot, making it hard for her to make good contact and control her shot. So what we really focused on here is making sure she gets her plant foot closer to the ball. Then if you look at contact, because her plant foot with her left foot is so far away, she's forced to reach for the ball with her left foot, and she's making bad contact towards the toe of her feet compared to her right foot, where she's contacting the ball right next to her plant foot, and she's contacting the ball with the instep by her laces right near her ankle, which is much more stable, which will help her produce more power and accuracy on her shot. And then if we look at her follow through, on her left foot, she finishes with her hips open, and this means she's not crossing over her feet at all or twisting her hips, so she has no torque on her shot, compared to her right foot, where her hips are closed when she finishes her shot, and her right foot's crossed over her left, meaning she's twisting her hips to create power. Now, the technique improvements we're focusing on for her left foot were making her right plant foot closer to the ball during her approach, and then during contact, making sure her ankle is locked and she's contacting the ball in a stable part of the foot. And during the follow through, you want to make sure the left foot lands across the body so she's crossing her feet and finishing with closed hips to create power. Now here's a video of her left foot shot after the analysis, and we focused on these technique improvements. As you can see, after the analysis, her foot has become much closer to the ball, and this allows her to not reach as much for the ball so she can make better contact. Now what we did to focus on this is what she every time when she ran up to shoot the ball, she really focused on planting her foot closer to the ball to take a better shot. Because her foot was planted closer to the ball, you can see that she contacts the ball. She doesn't have to reach as far as she did before the analysis. And she also contacts the ball near her ankle where her foot is strong and her feet won't flex away from the ball, creating pain and even like loss of power. So that's very good on her contact. You can see that she improved that quite a bit. And then on her follow through, you can see before the analysis she was landing in an open stance. And this was very hard to change even after the analysis, because after the analysis she lands in a closed stance, which is much better, and she's crossing over to create a twisting motion and add torque to her shot. But her foot, she was hopping into the motion instead of being smooth like she was with her right foot. So the improvements after motionless analysis that we saw were her plant foot was closer to the ball. She makes contact with the ball with a more stable part of her foot. She crosses her shooting foot over her plant foot on the follow through. Some things she could work on though is she could still get her plant foot a little closer to the ball, and she can work on a smoother follow through without a hop to get to the correct position. Conclusion. Overall, she made many improvements and was very coachable throughout the process. She still has a few things to fix, but I think she'll get there. Thanks for listening. Any questions?